आज की शाम आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत है. We extend a very warm welcome to all our brothers and sisters throughout the world. Green morning, green afternoon, green evening. Soldier reporting right from the checkpost at 8 minutes past 8 p.m. from a pious soil, a very, very humble soul who would like to pay his regards to everybody world over, wherever you are. We extend you a very warm welcome to join us on 633rd, 633. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the journey we have taken right from 25th of March during the COVID, during the pandemic. We have come a long way, and तीन शब्दों पर सारा संसार टिका है, because education is the base of entire human development. Whether you take arts or commerce or science or medical or non-medical, vocational or skill, but three words matter in life, that is called making education relevant. Shiksha prasangik bane. It's a global confluence of intellectuals, corporate, visionaries, counselors, motivators, trainers, and entrepreneurs. Those have done and those have given their entire life to humanity, and we wish to learn from their wisdom. Today on Sunday, 31st of January 2021, when it is early morning in United States, and when it is early evening in India, and when it is afternoon post lunch in entire Europe, and when it is somewhere evening tea time in the Middle East and Central Asia and a couple of other places, and of course my friends in Mauritius, Seychelles, and a couple of other places, those are joining, we extend a very warm welcome to all our brothers and sisters. This evening is a very privileged evening. I'm grateful and I'm indebted to Dr. Vivek Shankar Natarajanji, because he is the Sutradhar and he is the person who is giving Nishpaksh and Nishpaksh service to the humanity. And he brings today a very distinguished guest this evening and a distinguished speaker, Srinathan Shivakumarji. Srinathan Shivakumarji is a management consultant and he's an entrepreneur who is in New Jersey in the United States. We extend him a very warm welcome this evening on behalf of the entire chamber and on behalf of all my team members. I'm also grateful to Dr. Vivek Shankar Natarajanji. Let's take a humble journey, because today we are going to talk about entrepreneurship, innovation, and startups, opportunities and challenges. Entrepreneurship is very important. Innovation and creativity is very important, and startup is also very important. What are the opportunities, whether global or local, we will talk about. Now, International Chamber for Service Industry extends you a very warm welcome. During lockdown, we all face challenges. Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam is the philosophy and the vision of our entire humanity from India, Bharat. Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, and along with him, his Sipa Salar and a wonderful soul, Dr. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank ji, the Honorable Education Minister of India, 29th of July 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic, they have brought the new education policy for India after 34 years. 1947, we got independence, and thereafter, 1968, we got new policy, and thereafter we got in 1986, minor changes in 1992, and now after 34 years, this particular policy, which has been brought under the dynamic leadership of Honorable Prime Minister by Dr. Kasturi Ranganji and his entire team, is going to be the game changer. Because can you imagine, now children can art, craft, culture, music, dance, heritage, colors, cuisine, whatsoever you can think of your Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, when you talk about India's heritage, India's culture, India's values, India's ethics, India's Vedas, whatsoever we talk about, wow. No arts, no commerce, no science, no tight compartments. Anybody can take any combination, any subject, depending on their passion, what they would like to turn into profession. Right from the 6th class onward, children will be getting now coding. They will be having vocational, they'll be having skills, they will be having competencies, they will be having capabilities. And children will have 10 days in a semester, bagless school also. Wow. No bag to be carried, nothing. Just 10 days, visit a particular corporate house, and Foreign universities invited, come set up your campuses in India. Try and tell us what exactly you have got. And with Vivek Shankarji, we have been talking about why not to open something like e-learning and digital learning and flip learning and blended learning, whatever we talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a holistic approach, and some of us would require reskilling, including me. I want to be a student. Education will now be learning centric, not teaching centric. Is learning centric very important? Vocational education is very, very important. In between, a phase had come, the narrative was changed, because I do not want to spend too much of time, but 30 seconds. Macaulay and Macaulay, influenced by some of the traitors from India also, who basically changed his narrative and gave him the vision. Why don't you bring? And he went back in the month of February 1835, and he told in the British Parliament that, look, I wish to tell everybody here in the British Parliament, in India, first of all, no beggar, nobody is unemployed, nobody is asking for the job. Their education system, ecosystem is so fixed so nicely. And the Vedic parampara, what they have got, they are covering all subjects, 16 years in Gurukul, and every year one subject is only being taught. And thereafter, no, these kind of an examination systems, what we have got today, rote learning and all that. We destroyed everything. And he told, if we want to stay in India, if we want to rule in India, the more and more I got a time to read about the whole narrative, how people change the narrative in our history, geography, everywhere. We don't get the examples to how we got the freedom in this country. We get altogether a different perspective. Some of the historians completely destroyed, and our children, those are learning and getting educated today. What kind of an education? So thereby, this education policy is going to be the game changer. And once it gets implemented in totality in different phases, I think it's going to be altogether different. So when I was talking about a vocational, it is very important to understand over here, we got to take pride. Even if I'm a plumber, I'm an electrician, or I'm doing air conditioning repair job, or I'm doing denting, painting, I'm a carpenter, anything, any job, any profession, and that's being taught world over. Everybody need not to go to the college or the university and spend that so many years. That is altogether a different narrative, because I don't want to get into that. But yes, we would require people to be sent across over there. Those have to become educators, teachers, professors. Fine, but everybody need not to go over there. The training part, when I talk about, yes, it is very important. Now, skill is more important than the knowledge, because information is over flooded now today through the social media. So much of information is coming that you don't require that much of information. You do not know how to filter out. So thereby the role of teachers, educators will completely change. Soft skills are going to be more important than the hard skills. The computer knowledge also, if I acquire, if I do computer engineering, after 3 years, by the time I will pass out, it will become for sure obsolete. So thereby, 140 soft skills our chamber has taken out. We will list out, we will have one special program on that. I'm thankful to Dr. Chitra Kapoor, Ajay Kundal, Habong Asha, and all my team members. They have done a great job. And we are compiling all the soft skills together. And there we talk about what is soft skills. Your etiquette, your manners, your gesture, your body language, your personality, your communication, your interpersonal skills, your regards, your respect, your ethos, your values, your ethics, everything you got to be taking. So from skills, we got to move to the competencies. The Honorable Prime Minister of India wants to make India as a self-reliant, Atmanirbhar Bharat. And if India becomes Atmanirbhar, imagine, because this is a country which has got young population, youngsters, a lot of young people, those can help us out. At the same time, when we talk about startups, we talk about entrepreneurs, we talk about Atmanirbhar Bharat. So ladies and gentlemen, self-employment is very, very important. You got to be your own boss. Entrepreneurship, become an entrepreneur. Startup, very important. Lot of startups are coming up. Prime Minister has given a separate fund for that. Micro, small, and the medium enterprise, the ministry is working very hard in that direction. And all schemes for the youth, which are, they are available right over here on this particular web portal. So you can see it. what are the government schemes. Over here also, we have listed out all the websites for you so that your jobs become easy. Anytime you can refer to, because it's a live program, it's going on YouTube. You can refer to it any point of time whenever you feel like. There are 37 sector skill councils in India, and these 37 sector skill councils, when we talk about, they are doing great job. We initially, when the pandemic came, we came with health sector, then we came to entrepreneurship sector, then we came to media entertainment sector skill council, and nowadays we are with the wellness sector skill council, because everybody needs mental wellness, physical wellness, and environmental wellness, and with that your spiritual wellness. So here is the lady who's the CEO under the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, looking after the wellness sector skill council. Here is a gentleman for the entrepreneurship and professional skills which are required, Colonel Anil Kumar Pokhriyal, who is the CEO under the aegis of Ministry of Skill Development. Here comes Mr. Mohit Soni. He is the CEO of the Media Entertainment Sector Skill Council. With all of them, we are doing great. Every Saturday evening, we hold a special program for Swami Vivekananda's inspiration for today's education and youth. And I'm so grateful, my deep gratitude to Swami Sarvapriyanandaji, all the way from the New York, joining us for the program. The other day, Ishmatanandaji, he had come from Chicago. And like that, a lot of people are coming. So yesterday we had Honorable Vice Chancellor, B.R. Ambedkar National Law University. She was the keynote speaker and guest. Then your health is very important. When we are talking about education, skills, competencies, capabilities, entrepreneurship, and everything. So your health is also very important. Your health and wellness, let's get to Ayurveda. And we have already done, I'm so proud. Yesterday we completed, because every Saturday we do a program. We have done 28 programs so far, and Ministry of Ayush was so supportive. Every Sunday morning from 9:30 to 11, we get Professor Satinder Deman from the Woodbury University, Burbank, California. Vidya se Adhyatam Vidya ki aur, an integrative series of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and 10 principal Upanishads, what all we have to do over there. Then Sunday afternoon, aaj ki baat kar raha hoon. This morning we had Professor Saab. Thereafter we had waste to resource management. This series also, there is no waste. Whatever you're getting in your kitchen, that is basically energy that is to be utilized by our kettles, by our system, by our living ecosystem. We can make use of that in the terms of energy. It may go to our animals or it may come for our usage, but that part is very important. So we are trying to reach out every school, every college, every university, every polytechnic, every ITI, everybody we are trying to reach. Then we had a special program for today, entire northeast part of India, 8 beautiful states which are in northeast part of India, and the Honorable Prime Minister of India calls it Ashtalakshmi. So we had a very special program because we want our small kiddies, those are in schools, they got to be empowered. And today we talked about Atal Tinkering Labs to be set up in different government as well as private school with the ASEAN series. And at 5 p.m., just before this program, that got over about 6:45, that was micro, small and medium enterprise. And today from Odisha, one of the state, we got the chamber with us on the platform. And there is going to be the Konark Dance and Music Festival from 17th, 18th and 19th of February. And before that, we are doing MSME conference to help out. And that was again making of Atmanirbhar Bharat industry perspective. Our chamber, in a very humble way, we are reaching out the world 12 hours every day. And it is all complimentary. Anybody needs any support, whatever humble journey we can have from our side, we would like to reach you. We are organizing almost 30 webinars per week. And that is the kind of a dimension and the vision. Education got to be relevant to my day-to-day life. Why am I taking education? Why am I going to school, college or university? There has to be a purpose. There has to be an objective. There has to be understanding. So if it is relevant to my day-to-day life, I would feel, yes, this education. During this particular pandemic, we collected the data from world over and we found one of the very alarming situation which is coming. Bangalore, Chennai, entire state of Punjab, we are going to run out of water. Water crisis, water shortage, consumable water, drinkable water. For our day-to-day living, जल है तो कल है, जल ही जीवन है। भविष्य को सुरक्षित बनाना है तो जीवन के लिए और जीवन जीने के लिए पानी भी बचाना पड़ेगा, every drop of water. And that is going to be possible when we empower our women, our wife, our daughter, our granddaughter, our daughter-in-law, our grandchildren, and our teachers, because women are in teaching profession also. And if in real sense, if you talk, the entire ecosystem of this, cosmos, when you talk about this universe is because of my, if I am standing here and talking to you, this voice which is coming to you is because of my mother, is because of my mom. She has given me, she has given me a kind of an education, and I have reached in a humble way right up to this place. Women empowerment is very, very important. Your health, think positive, talk positive, dream positive, live positive, eat positive, sleep positive, get up positive. When you think good for others, Almighty helps us. And if your health is fine, organic farming, nutrition, ग्रो योर ओन वेजिटेबल्स, यू सी इनकी खुशबू ही बहुत अलग है. Organic farming is very important. Startup entrepreneurship and MSME, youth empowerment, teachers empowerment. And with that, we, in a very humble way, in 1994, set up India's first finishing school for the service industry, for the soft skill and the life skills. Every skill we had taken over there. And now our chamber and our governing body had decided, all of them, they took a decision, let's empower the teachers, education, and students, youth throughout the world, wherever we can help in a very humble way. Our Indians, wherever they have gone, let's bind them. And education only can bring peace, growth, prosperity, happiness. What is the use of achieving every milestone if you're not happy? That is very important. We are helping for setting up incubation centers, finishing labs, and utter tinkering labs, what we were talking about. And we are proud of Niti Aayog. Something very interesting. 12th of January was Swami Vivekananda's birthday, which is being celebrated as a youth day. On that day, Atal Tinkering Lab second 2.0 has been launched. And of course, these are the dignitaries, those are behind. They have done, Niti Aayog is doing a great job, wonderful job. And this is the Atal Tinkering Lab, what they have launched. And these are the agendas, Atal Innovation Mission. This is the major project what they have taken under Niti Aayog. Ladies and gentlemen, ICSI strongly recommends to all the Indian corporate and the Indian diaspora, non-resident Indians, don't give single rupee to anybody. Don't give any money to anybody. If you can empower the education ecosystem, whatever state you belong to in India, whatever place you belong to India, जहां भी आपकी श्रद्धा है, 5 बच्चों को ले लीजिए, 10 को ले लीजिए, 20 को ले लीजिए, बच्चों को एम्पावर कर दीजिए, बिकॉज इंडिया का सबसे बड़ा ट्रेजर है आवर यूथ, youngest nation of the world. World population is aging. You would require younger generation to link and to help and to take care of those elderly people world over. Why not to do it the best possible way? And during this pandemic, we realized B2B is back to basics, sustainable development, basic food, basic health, and basic education. Right. This is the last slide, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's come together, making education relevant. अब relevant कहाँ से होगा, कैसे होगा? Entrepreneurship से होगा, self employment से होगा, आपके स्टार्टअप से होगा, स्टैंड अप से होगा, आपका मेक इन इंडिया से होगा, असेंबल इन इंडिया से होगा. जो भी आपकी एक्सपर्टीज है, इस हवन कुंड में सामग्री अपने ज्ञान की, अपने विज्ञान की, अपने विद्वान होने का, जो भी नॉलेज, विजडम, जो भी कला आपके पास है, इसमें डालिए. एक आहुति है और इस हवन कुंड में उस आहुति को हम अननोटिस नहीं जाने देंगे. So ladies and gentlemen, we extend a very warm welcome to Sri Nathan Shivakumar ji this evening. We extend a very warm welcome to Dr. Vivek Shankar Natarajan ji. And this evening, we take on entrepreneurship, innovation, startups, opportunities and challenges. On the right-hand side, if you see on the piece of paper, we have written idea. Idea is everything. Ladies and gentlemen, with these humble words, join me in extending a very warm welcome to Nathan Shivakumar ji and Dr. Vivek Shankar Natarajan ji. Namaskar, hearty welcome, and such a pleasure to have both of you with us. आप लोगों को बहुत बहुत प्रणाम, बहुत बहुत नमस्कार, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आइए आज का कार्यक्रम हम शुरू करते हैं. I would request Professor Vivek Shankar Natarajan ji to take on the journey forward and give a formal welcome to Shri Nathan Shivakumar ji.
Namaskar, Suprabhatam, and Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. The reason I say Shri Gurubhyo Namaha is that's how we are linked. We share the same gurus. That is Natanji and I.
एक श्लोक भी कर दीजिए श्रद्धा का संस्कृत में. कोई भी दिन शुरू करने से पहले कोई श्लोक दीजिए संस्कृत का.
ओम सदाशिव समारंभाम शंकराचार्य मध्यमाम अस्मदाचार्य पर्यंताम वंदे गुरु परंपराम. Shri Guru Namo Namah Shri Guru Padupadhyam. Thank you. So with that, the reason that's why I said what we share with all of you, especially Nathanji and I, we share the same Guru Parampara. That is what brought us together. That is why I started by invoking the Guru Parampara. So I wanted to give a little bit of a preview of Nathanji's profile, and sometimes but I think a lot more will come out through his own speech, because sometimes they say my work is what I am. So I'm going to let him also talk about himself in a way through his work. But to just give a brief profile, Nathanji hails originally from southern part of India. People use the word South India, but South India we are not one different country. Southern part of India is the right word, because we are still one India or one Bharat. So Dakshin Bharat se hai Nathanji. He finished his bachelor's in science. He's basically a student of science from Madras University. Then subsequently was one of the earliest products of the prestigious IIM Ahmedabad. They always say the most MBAs in India, they are either from IIM Ahmedabad, the best ones, or they always wanted to go to IIM Ahmedabad. So he's in the first category. I'm in the second category. So obviously that's a very prestigious pool. It's early 70s. Then he was worked for a number of years in India, but in 87 moved west, so to speak, and has been in the US for more than 30 years. He has had a very checkered career, initially starting to work, but and then he said, by the grace of God, I was fortunate to, and they say sometimes in Amara yahan jo bolte hai na, Shanti, 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 anything you do 3 times, that means it is a truth. So he has started not one company, not 2 companies, but 3 companies, and he has been successfully able to turn them over and being able to exit. And that's a very difficult thing, because many people can start company. I can start a company tomorrow, but will I exit with any success in mind? That is very difficult. And to do it 3 times in a very competitive industry like in technology, and in a very competitive landscape like the United States, for somebody who is essentially an immigrant, there is a testimony to their inherent characteristic as a successful person. So with that, he is now gone into the third phase of what we call in our Varnashrama Dharma as Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha means people say going to the forest. Not really. Really, first of all, most of us are in jungles, but we are in a concrete jungle. So what jungles can we go to? And I think the pandemic has made us all already Vanaprasthis in a way. Right? And I think we are all now Zoom Prasthas also. We are also mostly on Zoom, or we are at home. Only 2 things that most of us do. So Nathanji has now dedicated his life to giving back. And as they say, if you give a man a fish, you teach him, you give him for feed him for 1 day, but you teach him how to fish, you are going to give a skill for a lifetime. Although we are all vegetarians here, I don't know if fish is appropriate, but I couldn't find a better word. But anyway, Nathanji is now in that process where he wants to mentor more wannabe entrepreneurs. So he says that's a very tough space to be in, and believe me, I can a word or 2 of mentorship can go a long way. And I'm personally witness to it. There is not an iota of selfishness. There is only selflessness that comes because of his deep abiding faith in our Sanatana Dharma. He himself is a student of the Vedas and Sanskrit language. and he has learned the Vedas. He has sponsored the Vedic Gurukul at his home, and he's also supporting Vedic causes in Bharat through the Kanchi Shankaracharya and Sringeri Shankaracharya. He has been on the board of both the Kanchi and Sringeri organizations in the US. So believe me, I do some of these volunteering myself. This is a labor of love. It is not easy because it's only a few people who carry the organization's load. And if you ever come to, I'm sure Gulchanji, one of these days you'll come to, US. You should see the Sharda temple that they have built in near New York. It's a wonderful monument. It's a wonderful temple. And all of this happens because of selfless people like Nathanji. So Nathanji is now he has said, I've done all my tour of duty in various not-for-profits. Now he's at home and in fact, I'm running some I'm part of another webinar where we are teaching some of these shlokas. And believe me, if the webinar starts at 8, Nathanji is already there at 7:50, like an eager student with a pen and a paper. So that tells me that it is, you can put education, you can put experience, all those things are useful for success. But I think what matters is personal discipline. And that, I'm a guy who's not, probably has a lot more to learn in discipline. So to me, when I see Nathanji's enthusiasm, he will be there with passion, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes before we'll preparatory. We don't have to tell, sir, log on, log off, switch off your camera. Everything is, without anything being said, he does things so well. And so I think there's no more things that I can add. So it is a privilege, pleasure that we have here, Nathanji. So the topic for today is innovation, entrepreneurship, innovation, and startups. So I think entrepreneurship is the human dimension. Innovation is the systemic dimension across a nation or a system. And startup is the mechanism through which all of these happen. So we're going to look at opportunities because, as Gulchanji said, when we say we as in India, is going to be a young nation, and our children, our youngsters are bubbling with ideas. So they have all these ideas, but maybe they need a little words of wisdom to see how do they take them into a successful model. And so there are opportunities, and then there are probably challenges too. It's not easy. A lot of times entrepreneur is a very, very lonely journey, and you require a lot of Atmanirbhar, but you also require a lot of Atmabal. You have to be like somewhere like Hanumanji or any of the people who had the faith in themselves. So without much ado, let me welcome Nathanji. Swagatam, Suswagatam. Please enlighten us with your life experience. And I think we had a little discussion how he's going to do it. He's going to talk about his personal experience and then his experience in the US, and then words of wisdom, and then we'll come back and do some question answers. Thank you, sir. Namaskaram.
Namaste, Dr. Gulshanji. Namaste, Vivek. I think at this time, I'm really speechless to really understand the great work that is being done by Dr. Gulshanji, the chamber. This is remarkable. And thanks for the kind words of Dr. Vivek Shankar, my dear friend. I have no words to describe how pleased I am, happy I am to understand the noble work that this chamber is doing, the great work that Dr. Vivek is doing. If I talk about this, I think I can talk for the rest of the day. However, I want to share with every one of you here a few thoughts of mine on this subject that we are looking to talk about today: entrepreneurship, innovation, opportunities, challenges, etc., etc., etc. This subject is a wide ocean, not something that I can talk in 15 minutes or 30 minutes. It is something that we can talk for days and days and days and days, not do anything. Something that we can talk for a brief while and get to do something concrete. With this few words in the beginning, I want to start the subject with a quotation for an entrepreneur, very relevant for an entrepreneur from Bhagavad Gita. Gulshan ji mentioned about a Bhagavad Gita seminar that is being taught every week or so. I want to start my talk with a quotation from Bhagavad Gita where Krishna has said, Mukam karodi vachalam, pangum langayate girim, yatkripa tamaham vande, paramananda madhavam. What does it mean? Mukaha, a person who cannot speak. He cannot even speak. He becomes an eloquent speaker. He becomes an eloquent speaker, not an ordinary speaker, an eloquent speaker. Pangaha, pangum langaya te girim, pangaha, a person who is lame, who cannot walk. One day he finds that he can climb mountains. Mukam karodi vachalam, that is, a mukaha becomes a great speaker. A pangaha becomes a mountain climber. How? All because of the grace of Paramananda Madhav, Krishna. With this saying, I want to begin my subject because sometimes entrepreneurial life is like that. Who is an entrepreneur? What he should be is the first focus of my talk today. An entrepreneur, this is available everywhere, but I'm just sharing my thoughts on this. He should be a leader. Of course, all of you will agree with me on this. A self-motivator. In fact, motivation is not an ordinary thing. We can talk hours on this subject on motivation. He should basically be a self-charging machinery, because every day will begin depending upon the day. He may be motivated, he may not be motivated, he will have so many issues confronting him when he wakes up, but nothing can derail him. He has to be a self-charging machinery. People will ask, how? What should we do for this? That is a subject by itself. He needs to be able to motivate others around him. It's not easy again. To motivate yourself is a problem. To motivate others around you, it's not easy. It's a greater problem. Then he or she should be able to prioritize the work. You wake up, the day begins. You have 10 things that has to be done right now. To be done now, not later. It could be 10, it could be more, it could be more and more. So he or she should know how to prioritize. You need to know, hey, what I need to do first, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, go on it peacefully with a clear mind so that you can do every activity properly. Not that you did the first activity well and the 10th activity takes a suffering. No. When you begin each activity has to be done with the same care that you gave the previous activity. He has to be an open-minded person. What do you mean by open-minded person? He needs to be able to listen to people. Many a times, entrepreneurs, they may not be able to listen to others. They may just want to say, hey guys, get it done. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not saying no to that. But you need to understand sometimes what the others have to say and make a distinction, determination, what to do and what not to do. Distinguish between important aspects, next importance, like that, prioritize. Very important for an entrepreneur, good ability to deal with people, HR skills. Very, very, very important. Days are gone. You can just come and say, my way is the only way. No. You have to be a person who needs to be able to sell your views or make other people do what is the right thing to do by your behavior. People skills, HR skills, very important. Very important aspect. Every aspect we are talking about are equally important. Don't think that my previous aspect is less important. What I am now going to say is more important. No. Everything is very important for an entrepreneur. Ability to understand finances. I'm not meaning that an entrepreneur has to be an accountant or has to be a money manager. No, that's not my suggestion. You can't be. You can't be doing everything. He or she should not waste money or spend money without a proper fiscal discipline. Needs a proper budget. Even if it is your own money that you are spending, if it is through an entrepreneurial initiative, has to be with a discipline. You can't say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. No, it doesn't work. It has to be budgeted. Even if you are writing an expense, it has to be as per what the law permits, what the accounting permits. You can't just like that do anything. So understanding monetary matters and doing things with a discipline, with a budget, extremely important. Understand your environment well, the market, the competition, the opportunities, etc., very well. I just listed to you some of the aspects or qualities for an entrepreneur that one should possess. In fact, there may be many more that I have not listed here because with the limited time, I want to cover the entire aspects described in this subject and then leave it open for a discussion. I'll always happy to come back and address any questions, any suggestions at any point of time. At this time, I want to move to the next subject on, or the next aspect on opportunities as well as innovation. Opportunities are many. Everything is an opportunity. Sky is the limit for opportunities. Innovation, many. Your imagination is your innovation. Opportunity, how you use the opportunity to accomplish a goal is what we are going to look at. Many a times, an entrepreneur has a project in mind, or a service in mind, or a product in mind, that he or she wants to promote it into a commercial venture. They'll be very creative. Maybe they may be in a very good job with whatever their background is in terms of education, in terms of whatever they have done. They may have certain passion to do certain things and create it into a commercial venture. That is what we are now talking about. And they may be sleeping on it every day. There may be many opportunities which will be in their minds. Please note, I repeat, please note, they need to clearly focus on what opportunity they are going to convert it into an entrepreneurial initiative. So the first aspect in this is for an entrepreneur to do is to create what is in their mind, or maybe what is scribbled in papers, or maybe what has been in their mind through discussions with various people. Everything you need to create into a focused business plan in writing. You may have 10 things in mind which you want to do. You may not be able to do all of them. Focus on to what that one thing, that one opportunity, that one innovation that you want to focus on. Create that into a good business plan. Business plan creation itself is a big job. It's not an easy thing. It could be done by the entrepreneur. They could do with the help of some of their close friends, close confidants, or even sometimes even use external consultants to do that. All depends on the type of project, the nature of project, the nature of innovation, how secretive it is, what is the nature of the opportunity, etc., etc. So the first point is your thoughts, your plan in your mind should be converted into a business plan. That is the first fundamental. Very, 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 very important. Oh, sir, I thought I had that in my mind. There are people who will just start their venture, nothing planned, nothing in writing, and everything they touch is a problem. May not be a problem too. So, first thing is create a good business plan, a focused business plan in writing. In writing, I repeat, in writing. The second thing is this business plan should lead you into a market plan, a sales plan. What it means is you need to look at what is the market you are going to service. What is the competition there? How are we going to reach it to the target audience you have in mind? All the aspects of marketing, sales has to be into a meaningful plan before you get to go to the next step. In fact, in marketing, in my early days, when I used to be teaching marketing, I used to say the 4 P's of marketing. What do you mean by the 4 P's of marketing? Product or service, what you are going to offer, the place where you are going to offer, where is it going to be offered, and the distribution plan. Nowadays, they call it as logistics, supply chain, the place where you are going to offer. Next is promotion. How are you going to make it known to the target audience that you have in mind? You may have a brilliant, wonderful product or a service. How are you going to reach it? A promotion, an advertising plan. And of course, very important aspect is the 4th P, pricing. What is going to be the price at which I'm going to offer? So your market and sales plan should cover all aspects of product or service, place, distribution, logistics, supply chain, promotion, advertisement. How are you going to reach the information to your target audience? And a right pricing. Right pricing is very important in life. You may have a product that you want to sell it for maybe $100 or 1,000 Indian rupees. But there is a competitor already selling in the market for half your price. What value you are going to bring it to the market? So price is equally important as to how you are positioning. But sometimes, just because the other product is selling for 500, your product is available for 1,000, doesn't mean you are not going to sell. Please understand that too. Every one of these aspects which I am now listing has to be gone into depth. Everything is a subject by itself. So you need to have a clear, from a business plan, flow into a clear market cum sales plan. Understanding all aspects of the marketing, the 4 P's which I listed. Probably Professor Vivek may give a different terminology these days. This is what I studied maybe 40 years back or whatever that is. But a clear plan. Understanding the competition, the present competition, the possible new competition, etc., in this particular thing. The next very important aspect is, first is the business plan. Second is the market and sales plan. The next important aspect is investment plan. How are we going to, what is the capital involved in this? What is the day-to-day revenue operating expense involved in this? So you need to have a capital investment plan, a revenue plan, including a cash flow, and what is the source of the funding? Where are you going to get the funds? Even if it is own money of your own money, your own funds, you need to have this created so you know that you are spending what exactly is required. There is a proverb in Tamil which I want to share with you. It may be, some may be able to follow, some may not follow. Please forgive me for saying this. Aathila pottalo alandu podu. Meaning is, even if you throw something in an ocean or a river, measure it and put it. Just don't, just like that, waste. What it means is, do not waste your money just like that. Maybe God has given you a lot of money. God has, whatever He has given you. But you have to be accountable to your own self, to your own family. So this monetary exercise is very important. This flows into a good HR plan. You need to have a proper human resources plan where what are the resources required for your project, the compensation to be paid to them, how are you going to incentivize them to see that the work is done. Many a times, people will say, hey, this is the salary I get. Oh, whatever the words they use for that. But you need to incentivize people too. That's the world we live in. So you need to have a proper HR plan. This flows into understanding a risk management plan. You need to have a very clear risk management plan in place. In every project you start, there is always a risk management plan. You need to have a backup plan. And every aspect is very important. Everything that I listed so far are very important. Be it a business plan, 2, market cum sales plan, 3, an investment plan or a capital investment plan or a revenue expenditure plan, a budget, 4, a HR plan, 5, a risk management analysis. Everything is very important. Nothing is less, one is more important, one is less important. No. To be for the success of your initiative, every aspect I listed is very important. But please do not mistake me that I am trying to scare people from becoming an entrepreneur. No, that's not the goal. I am trying to set the right expectation or the right mindset framework with which you need to go into your project, because the opportunities are many. As I started my subject saying, opportunities are many. Innovation opportunities are many, but you need to channelize them properly with everything properly planned and thought about, rise from, okay, how am I going to conceptualize the whole project? A business plan. How am I going to create an awareness into the market, sell it into the market, a market cum sales plan? How am I going to fund my project? Whatever is the nature of the initiative, be it a $100 million initiative, be it a $1 million initiative, be it a 100 crore initiative, be it a 1 crore initiative, whatever it is, everything needs in its aspect a plan, which is detailed into a business plan, a market and sales plan, and maybe a investment plan, a human resources plan, and a risk management assessment as to how you are going to do that. And not the least, I have to list one more important aspect in this is understanding the laws of the land with respect to the business that you are planning to start. Very important. You cannot just do all the 5 things which I said. Sir, I did all the 5 things you said. I did it, sir. I have a beautiful plan. I have a great marketing plan, a sales plan. I have everything wonderful. But I did not understand that this was the law pertaining to my business which I am planning to start. No use. Sorry, my friend. It's no good at all. You need to know what is the laws of the land that govern the business that you are planning to do. One should know this. Not knowing is not an excuse. Imagine you started a business and you had some issues, and the compliance department comes and says, sir, you have done this which is not supposed to be done. You reply to him, sir, I didn't know. That's not an answer. That's not an excuse. So you need to be aware of the laws governing your business, and you need to understand what you have to do to comply with the laws, to comply with the accounting methodology, whatever that is suggested for running a business. Very important. Without looking into this aspect, you will definitely encounter problems. There's no question about it. With this basic framework which I have established for what you need to do with respect to tap the opportunities or the innovations that you have created into a proper business initiative, let us look at what are the challenges you are going to have. We will have challenges. Not that you will not have challenges. It is how you look at it. Everything is a challenge. Everything is not a challenge. Every aspect of the business can be an opportunity or a challenge, how you look at it. You need to have a very clear mind. When you look at your activities every day you should start with in fact, Gulshanji said, think positive, eat positive, sleep positive. That positive thinking is a must for any entrepreneur. It is a must for everybody. It's a must for any human being. You need to think positive in life. The life given to you where you are a human being, you need to think positive. So every day you start the day with a positive mind, a good mind. Hey, I had this problem last night. Okay, I slept over it. But I woke up today. Yeah, I have this suggestion. Maybe I can handle it this way. Maybe as an entrepreneur, you come out with the solution, or you have a team that you talk to, understand, and then get over the problem. Never get demotivated. As I told you initially, even when the starting of the session, you have to be a self-charging machinery. Very important. Very, 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 very important. You need to be able to charge yourself always. Hey, I have this problem. I have to overcome this. I will overcome this. And that is why I started with the Bhagavad Gita quotation, where somebody who cannot speak becomes an eloquent speaker. He never thought he is going to speak. He never thought he is going to speak, but he becomes an eloquent speaker. There is a difference, right? So that way, there will be challenges. Not that there are not challenges, but you need to look at the challenges with a positive mind, with a clear mind, with a mind where you can resolve. Once you put your foot forward, once you have your plan in place, of course, this calls for a disciplined, planned approach on anything that you do, you will be able to convert opportunities into the challenges into opportunities. Your challenges are your opportunities sometimes. Your opportunities are your challenges sometimes. These are intertwined. What I have given so far is a list of various steps that you as an entrepreneur look into. I'm sure this is not something new to many of you. Maybe you have more thoughts than me on this subject. I have shared with you every bit of my own life, the way I used to do my things when I came up with this. Now, that does not mean this is the only way that you can make a progress into an entrepreneurial life. There could be other ways too. I want to share another quotation from Bhagavad Gita. It may not be relevant, but this could be helpful. This attitude could be very helpful in a successful entrepreneurship. Mat karma kriti, mat paramo, mat bhaktaha, sangha varjitaha, nirvairaha sarvabhuteshu, yaha sa mameti pandava. What is this meaning? What did Krishna say here? Mat karma kriti, do everything as a karma. It is something that you are supposed to do. Hey, I have done this for today. This is my duty. Do it as a duty. A dutiful mind. An entrepreneur should have a dutiful mind. You need to look at, you may be the CEO of the company, but you need to be as part of the team. You are one among the team. Do your duty as the CEO. What you are supposed to do. Do it as a duty. That duty is sometimes not very pleasant. Not everything that you do are pleasant. But doesn't matter. Pleasant things you will always do, but do it as a duty. But be fair in your thinking, whatever you are doing. Mat paramo. Everything offer it to God. You place it to Him. Ishvara, I had to do this today. I do not know why I did it, but I had to do this today. But do it with a fair mind, a correct mind. Mat paramo. Mat bhaktaha. You are like a bhakta in front of God. An entrepreneur, many a times, you are your own CEO, you are your own, whatever you want to call it as. Do not mind it. You should be ready to do any job. A CEO cannot say, hey, I'm only going to do the CEO job. Sometimes you have to get down and get to call your customers, make a sales call, be an example to your sales team. Hey, this is how you can make the sales. You should be able to get down and do other activities as needed by your business. So, mat karma kriti, mat paramo, mat bhaktaha, sangha varjitaha. You cannot have attachment to anything. No attachment to anything. You do your duty in the name of God as a devotee without any attachment to what you have done. Nirvairaha sarvabhuteshu. That means it's a very, very, everything that I said, mat bhaktaha, mat karma kriti, mat paramo, mat bhaktaha, everything. Sangha bharjitaha, everything I have said so far, not easy to follow. It is very difficult. Entrepreneurial life can be difficult, need not be difficult. Doesn't mean that you need not do a new initiative. Please do not mistake me. It is all the more reason you need to think through properly before you do anything. Everything I said so far is not easy. Sangha varjitaha. No attachment to anything. Not easy. Nirvairaha sarvabhuteshu. Meaning is no nobody, no hatred on any human beings, on any beings rather, not even human beings, any beings. Nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu yaha. Who is that person? I am with him, said Krishna. I am with him. So when Krishna is with you, you don't need to worry. Every initiative of yours is a success. Mat karma kriti, mat paramo, mat bhaktaha, sangha varjitaha, nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu yaha sa mamyati pandava. And Krishna will be with you. With this thoughts, Dr. Gulshanji, Dr. Vivek, I want to really thank you for this opportunity to share my thoughts with this audience. And my prayers to God that the audience and whoever there is on this session, may not be on this session, should all be successful in what they think and what they want to do. May Krishna give them the guidance to be a great entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, where they can do many good things to the people at large in the whole world. Now it is one global economy. With this, I want to end my suggestions and thoughts with all of you on this subject that is given. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Our deepest gratitudes and our deepest regards. And such a wonderful insight you have given, and you made it so simple, so wonderful. I would request Professor Vivek Shankar Natarajanji to take it further, but I have taken your imagination is your innovation. Your imagination is your innovation. And focused business plan. Challenges will come in life. Your attitude makes a lot of difference. Be fair in your thinking. The most difficult task which you have given to the humanity, which we tried, no attachment to anything. No attachment to anything. Professor Vivek Shankar Natarajanji always wants to give Indian heritage, Indian ethics, Indian values to his daughter. He always tells, I want that she should get sanskaras of our own culture, our own heritage, our own Sanskriti, wherever he talks to me. So I would say it was so nice, so humble. I would request Professor Vivek Shankarji to take on this journey further.
Okay, first of all, thank you, Nathanji, for taking us on a very erudite exposition of what are some founding principles of becoming a successful entrepreneur. Now, with that, you did make a reference about the 4 Ps. Yeah, let me clarify. Whatever, there are some things that are what we call as evergreen. There are some things that are got as classics. So whatever that can change, if I went to go to any classroom and teach marketing, and if I said the 4 Ps don't exist, they will beat me black and blue, because that's the thing. So it is as important. It's like, you know, if Lord Krishna were to come without his peacock or his flute, nobody. So 4 Ps is such an integral, although there have been refinements. People talk of 4 Cs, 7 Cs, 8 Cs, 9 Ps. It's the 4 Ps is kind of one of those classic exemplar that defines marketing. So anybody on the street, if they ask me, I'm marketing, acha tumko 4 P pata hai? Then you're gone. So it's kind of a litmus test of if you have no marketing or not. So so I think that is classic. Thanks for referring it to that in your speech. So 4 Ps is alignment kicking. Now, with that, sir, can you share some anecdotes when you started your companies, and when you were doing company 1 and now then the company 3, what changed? Because we have had a longitudinal progress. The same, you're not probably the same Shiva Kumar ji when you were doing company 1 and then building company 2 and company 3. There was a longitudinal trend in your life journey, and I'm sure there are lessons learned, because every entrepreneurial journey is like a critical incident. So what did you change from the first time to the second time to third time? What did you do different? What and what are some things that you wish you had not done in your first time?
Thanks, Dr. Vivek. Thanks for the opportunity, and thanks for asking this very, very relevant question. Let me share my journey with you at this time with the audience. First, I started with a services initiative where I wanted to offer services in the software field. A software services initiative is what I started sometime in '93. And but one thing is this: whatever I have said, I follow every bit of it. I am an employee in my company. I am not the boss. The minute you know that attitude comes to you, success is already on the gate. You don't need to worry at all. You have to be part of your group. That doesn't mean you go and bull with them. No. Talk sense with them. Talk value with them. Bring values to them. Very important. I'll share this with you here. I'm not afraid of sharing this to the open audience. I had in my first company close to 400 employees at one point or the other. And there were situations wherein I had 3 offices, New Jersey, California, as well as India. India was always a base. Chennai was always a base with about 100 plus employees in Chennai in all my initiatives from 93, 94 onwards till 2016. Always I had 100 plus employees in Chennai alone. Then my employees in New Jersey, my employees in California, everywhere. Let us say I'm visiting the Chennai office, or I'm in the New Jersey office or California office. There may be occasions like Diwali coming up. There may be occasions like various important festivals coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to share this thought with you. I will not hesitate with my team, maybe 100 employees with their families or whatever it is, in a room where we will do collective prayer to the Lord with a view that these families should all do well. The company should do well. These families with their children, their entire family should have their happiness that come to them. And I will wear the traditional attire that is necessary as a pujari or a priest, sit with them and carry on the puja. What I am trying to point, not that we don't want to bring in a priest or a pujari, we will have the priest too. What I am trying to tell you is, your attitude where you need to be humble, and it is the blessing of God. Everything is given to you by the grace of God. And that humility and follow the rules. That doesn't mean just because it is God has given you, it doesn't mean you don't do your work, you don't do your business plan, or you don't do your market plan. No. You have to go through all the steps which I narrated to you, not one less. Maybe one step could be more. I have left maybe one step that you did it. I'm here to learn. As Gulshanji pointed out, every day is a learning experience. Every day is learning. If as a CEO, I come into my office that morning saying that, look, I have learned everything, that is it. That day is, that is it. That is the day I'm going to see the negative path for the company. Every day is a learning experience. I'll share, as Vivek asked, I'll share a question with you. In 98, if I remember right, the type of business I was in, I was subject to an audit by the department. I don't want to get into that, but by a department which came and audited me. Not that I did anything wrong. Not that I did not do what has to be done. So they came, and immediately so happened that my CFO was there. So I brought in the auditor like another employee and into my CFO's office and said, here is my CFO. He will share all the information with you. What we said was, please give us like a week for us to prepare whatever you want, and we will prepare and give it to you. No problem. I cannot, is after 5 years of my starting the company or something, I'm subject to an audit. I can go into specifics, maybe on a private session, and suggest to people what they can do. This this journey or this initiative of mine with you is not just limited to this half an hour I'm spending with you or an hour I'm spending with you. Gulshanji, I'm very happy to share my thoughts with the audience, with an entrepreneur, with anyone, with only one thing in mind. They have to be successful with nothing in mind for Nathan Shivakumar. No, I do not need anything. God is so kind. I'll be very happy to share my thoughts, my suggestions, my guidance with one and the only view that this audience, this global audience, they have to be successful in what they do. They have to be looking into every aspect that has to be done by an entrepreneur, and not to say, hey, I didn't do this, I didn't do this, I didn't do this. Easy to say that, but very difficult to say I have followed the rules. So this, I'm going back to my story where this auditor came and he gave us, said, very fair. See, now many a time when an auditor comes, half the time you are afraid, and that itself shows that you have something to hide. And I said, nothing to hide. Then he gave us a list. Okay, sir, please have this information ready. I said, no problem. In 1 week, nothing is going to change. If we don't have it, we don't have it. If we have it, we have it. Sir, you will have it. So he came after a week. To cut the long story short, he sat with my CFO and he gave him all the information. At the end of his maybe 1 or 2 days he spent with us after that week that he came back, he had only one word to tell my CFO. Please tell Nathan, this is unbelievable company. Not one mistake I can find in what they have done. Please tell him. That is the way you have to set your systems. You don't set your systems or you don't do anything, just leave it the whole thing it is. No, you don't, then you pay for it. And the same way, yet another story in the same thing is, a year later, the same auditor had a problem with my company. So he called my CFO. He didn't even call me and said, Mr. So-and-so, please don't tell this to Nathan because he will feel very worried. Don't tell him. Can you tell me, is this what you people did? He said, no, sir, we did this. He said, I knew that is what you people would have done. You would have done the right thing. But this is the complaint I received. Please don't even tell this to Nathan. I am not even opening the subject. It is closed. And that is how it was. And subsequently, just to carry the story forward, in year 2000, when a big auditor firm, 3 major auditors came to audit my books, and they were looking to buy my company at this time. It's a good thing that I'm talking about now. The audit firm said, this is a company which has everything transparent. Transparency is their strength. Nothing I can find out where they have done something wrong. And the same auditors came afterwards for buying another company through my initiative for this company that bought me. And he will always say, sir, I want to say this is a much larger company that we were getting into. They have no systems equal to what Shivakumar has. Shivakumar is unbelievable. No system equal to that. I used to tell him, sir, why are you unnecessarily dragging me into this? I only did my duty. I didn't do anything other than what I am supposed to do. Now, if they have not done it, we'll ask them to do this. If it is something doable. If they cannot do it, if that is not what we want, let's walk out. We don't need to blame them. Vivek, did I answer you? I'm sorry if I went away, but yeah, I thought I'll just share this with you.
No, this is really fascinating, sir. So let me kind of piggyback on that because I kind of want to go back to one institution I respect a lot, the IIM Ahmedabad. You were also in that sense also you are an entrepreneur because you are on the first batches of IIMA. What made you go to IIMA, and what did you pick up? In fact, there are 2 camps. There are some people who talk about what did I learn everything at IIMA, and then there's one more group. I think it was KV Kamath and a bunch of others. They said, what did I not learn at IIMA? What did I pick up in the school of hard knocks? But I think it's interesting because I'm a been a student of management. I'm supposed to be a professor of marketing. So, for me, this is my bread and butter. And I want to understand the role the business schools might have played in your evolution, if they did or if they did not. So we want to get both the sides.
Sure. I would say there's a lot that we learn in the management school. If I say that I have done everything and I did not learn anything from management school, I'll be failing in my duty. I have to be very thankful to every one of my teachers, right from my grade 1 in school, to my undergrad in college, to my post-graduation in management school. Every learning helps every person. No question about it. How can I tell this audience today the 4 P's of marketing if I have not gone through a marketing program somewhere? So I have gone through the marketing program, and this learning in these business schools will help a lot, does help a lot. It does give you that confidence. Hey, I have this experience to support my initiative. So to answer your question, Vivek, learning in these institutes, has it helped me? Absolutely yes. Will it help people? Sure, definitely yes. Or just because somebody did not go to a management school does not mean he cannot become an entrepreneur. Please don't get me wrong also. It is not that you have to be an MBA or you have to go to a management school to start an initiative. You may be able to go, you may not have gone, but entrepreneurial path is a different path. You can probably take the help of the experts in wherever needed in the initiative that you're starting. But to answer you, the teaching in management schools, are they a help? Definitely yes. Is it what you have to do for you to become an entrepreneur? May not be. That may not be. Did I answer your question, Vivek?
Yes. Let me go to, and this is probably the last question. What are the opportunities and strengths you see in the context of India? Because you've grown up in India, worked in India, you got your education in India, worked in India, but you also spent your life in the US. You're what we call is in the US, there is a product called half and half. It's half creamer and half milk. So I guess you're probably half and half. I'm kind of 70-30. I'm still, I think, I'm not there at that 50% tipping point yet. So you're a half and half, and but at the same time, you have your roots still very, very Indian, as you said. You did, and I know you personally, your background. I've seen you in the dhoti, and I've also seen you in the C-suite kind of dress. And I try to straddle that world. So what are some words of wisdom giving that? As East and West, North and South, straddling both the worlds, and especially, what are things that the folks in India can benefit from a little bit of the Yankee education? What are things that you learned being in the US? I would like to get that perspective.
Okay. A very valid question, a very good question, but I just want to make a small correction to the question. Today, we live in a global community. It is not India, it's not USA, it's not UK, it is not a particular society that we are looking at. Today, we are looking at a global community, a global society, a one human community. We are all one. Be it India, be it US, be it UK, be it anywhere. We are all one. We need to do the right things in life, stand by the right things in life, do the right things to help people, and that is how we have to move forward. Now, coming back to the question that Vivek asked with respect to I don't want to use the word Yankee education, but with respect to certain exposures I have due to my stay in the US. In fact, I am equally very familiar with everything that goes on in India, because in my 25 years of experience in the entrepreneurial world, I had to do things with India too, like I did things in the US too. So understanding both these places were very important to me from a perspective of carrying on the type of activities or the business initiative that they wanted to do. There is no question about it here. Now, my advice to someone in India or this is applicable to somebody in the US or anywhere in the world. My advice, I do not want to limit this advice to a person in India. Doesn't mean this doesn't apply to somebody in the US. No. My advice or suggestion would be, you have an entrepreneurial vision. Go at it. Go forward with that. But with all the checks and balances, which I have told you, you have to do all this. Let us say you are in a good job. I'm just giving an example. Let's say you are from an IIT, and maybe you are an MBA from one of the good universities or whatever that is. And you have a good job and you have a family. Make sure that your priorities are properly placed in life. That doesn't mean one fine morning you come and tell your wife, hey, I'm giving you a surprise, I'm starting a new initiative. No, don't do that. If you have a family, if you have a wife, your parents, you owe every bit to them, where you have to come and share with them what you want to do. You just cannot just like that say, I'm quitting my job tomorrow, I'm going to start this initiative. No. You have to carry the people who depend on you, or the people who have come thinking of you or depending on you. Or see, nowadays it is not like a question of husband and wife dependency with each other. It's a trust with each other. So you need to share your thoughts with your spouse, with everyone, and share with them, hey, this is what I want to do. Take their blessing. Take the blessing, of course, of your elders if you think that you can share some thoughts with them too. No question about it. Understand your marketplace very well. No question about it. Whether if you are offering your service in India, understand India well. If you are offering your services to a global community where India, US both become a play, understand the marketplace before you can go into it. I give a small example here. I know of several companies who from India think that US is a great place where you can make millions just like that. No, it doesn't work that way. US is a great place. India is a great place. The globe is a great place. You need to understand each market and then go into it with a careful plan. All my checks and balances come there. You want to go into US? Create a proper plan for that. Everything, you need to have a plan before. Not just like that you come, I threw $500,000 and everything is a waste and people in the US have not led me correct. No, people don't lead you correct. You need to lead yourself correct. You need to think through things correctly. So whatever I have said is very important that one has to follow, whether it is a question that you're going to sell your service in the US or whether you're going to sell your service in India or anywhere else in the world. And very important, you need to carry your family into your thinking, not by, oh, I want to do this. No, it doesn't work like that. Ensure that your family buys into you. I can at this point of time place before the world. Right from the day when I started, my wife has been my biggest supporter. Grace of God, everything became a great success. So I have to give equal credit to her for all the service that she has done to me. I cannot say, hey, I did everything. No, I did not do anything. I am the last person in the whole thing I did anything. The help comes from the family first. So all of you who is listening to me here, I want to share with you here the thought. Make sure that you do things in a very proper, systematic order, depending upon what your status of life is. Who is depending on you? If there are people depending on you, if depending on your income, don't just like that say, I just want to throw everything out and become an entrepreneur tomorrow and start this. Please do not do that. That entrepreneurship the world doesn't need. The world needs an entrepreneurship where you do things properly with the blessings of everybody who are around you first. Of course, Krishna is there to bless you. He is always within you. In fact, the first question that Vivek and Dr. Gulshanji asked, who are we? Then I need to go into Upanishads. If I have to understand, who am I? Am I Nathan Shivakumar? Or who am I? Then I need to talk quotations from Upanishads for you. That is not the subject here today. So, Vivek, did I answer your question properly?
Oh, thank you, Shivakumarji. So with that, I'm going to pass the floor to Gulshanji for his kind of questions and conclusion. I really want to thank you, sir, for taking the time on a Sunday morning. Of course, we have a more bright and sunny morning here. I don't know how the weather is in New Jersey. It's a little more frigid than here. So, but thank you for that. You really brightened our day. So with that, Gulshanji, please take it over.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor Vivek Shankar Natarajanji. Thank you very much, Nathan Shivakumarji. It was a wonderful morning for you and evening for us, afternoon for someone, whatever time zone we are in. There are a couple of things which I have taken while conveying my gratitude and thanks. You mentioned transparency is your strength. Every learning helps every person. Every learning helps every person. And now we got to understand we are not living in isolation. It's a global community. And all of us, we are together and we all are one, do right things and check and balances. And that was the final climax which you have given. We are so grateful to you. We are so we become more humble. We wish that we get you on a platform again in near future. We should take this journey forward. And we pray to Almighty for the good health, wellness, for all your family members, all the people, those are around you, surrounding you, those are in contact with you in your community. Keep doing good job. And both of us, I do not know what age group you are sailing in, but well, I when I cross this particular biological figure, I always say, why does the wisdom comes little late? Why not early? But well, it's his wish, Krishna. He has to decide. And let's have one more wisdom and one more learning from today. Vivekji, I would make a humble request. From today onward, all the programs, what we will start with our Indian Shloka prayer, and we will finish with Shloka and our prayer. Let's close the session while conveying our thanks to Nathan Shivakumarji and his entire family.
Dr. Gulshanji, thank you very much. I really want to thank you for the great work that you and your organization are doing.
Yes,
and thank you for the small little part that I was able to play today. But don't hesitate. Please feel free through Vivek anytime. You need any suggestions from us.
Thank you,
we
sir.
are always there. If you want me to end the program with a sloka, I'll be happy to do that for you.
Please do, sir. Please do.
Sahana bhavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinha vaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. प्रणाम आपको, आपका परिवार को, सब लोगों को, और खासकर